Jade hair is back for the minute. Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be yet another pop culture conspiracy theories. I am always really into pop culture and the conspiracy theories surrounding it. I just think there's so many conspiracies and so many different things surrounding it, so I figured that is going to be today's video. And these conspiracy theories are like crazy to me. Like, I actually believe them. Anyway, let's get into it. The first few conspiracy theories we're going to be talking about revolve around the topic of the Grammys and kind of award shows in general, but specifically the Grammys. When I was researching for this video and for this theory, like, this idea popped into my head when I saw this Twitter post about Ariana Grande and Mariah Carey. It sent me down a fucking spiral of just trying to understand what the hell is the Grammys, what's the point of the Grammys. Like, you guys are gonna be mind blown. Like, I was so balled by this. I like told my mom and my dad, and like I was literally telling everyone I know, like, is this not fucking insane? Like, it's insane. So let's start talking about it. So basically, a lot of people were upset about the recent 2020 Grammys when Ariana Grande was basically snubbed in every category. I think it's so ridiculous. So they invite Ariana to sing, she performs, and one of the people that, you know, they're promoting so much performing, she's nominated for 5 different Grammys and she loses all of them. A lot of people are saying on Twitter, like, oh, Billie Eilish doesn't deserve her Grammys. I don't think that at all. I think she's amazing and talented, and I think she does deserve her Grammys. But of course, I do think Ariana deserves Grammys as well. I saw this post on Twitter, which sparked the entire idea for this conspiracy in the first place, and it's essentially 24 years ago at the Grammys. Mariah Carey, of course, was one of the biggest artists at the time. They invite her to sing and perform at the Grammys in 1996. And she's nominated for 6 Grammys and loses all of them. Though that year, 25 million copies of her album were sold. So, tell me how that's not album of the year. I don't know. And of course, you have the comparison, which is to Ariana, who sold 50 million copies of different singles in the Thank You Next era. And not only that, but she was also invited to sing at the Grammys and was nominated 5 times, but won none of her awards. And the pictures side by side are so interesting to me because I think that Ariana and Mariah Carey are some of like the best singers of all time. So it's really crazy to me that like they would be snubbed so hardcore. So basically I saw this picture and then it started getting my mind working and thinking back to 2019 Grammys and how that went down for Ariana. 2019, when Mac Miller was nominated for Rap Album of the Year for Swimming. Mac had passed away towards the end of 2018 in September, and he unfortunately did not win. It's pretty upsetting and like kind of shocking. Ariana like voiced her opinion about this and said that like Mac deserved it. So that's like one kind of beef that she had with the Grammys. Also that year, she was meant to actually perform at the Grammys of 2019, but didn't because producer of the Grammys, Ken Elrich, actually stated in an interview saying, quote, Ariana Grande would not be performing at the 2019 Grammys because she, quote, felt like it was too late for her to pull something together. So Ariana was really pissed about this, and she tweeted saying, quote, I've kept my mouth shut, but now you're lying about me. I can pull together a performance overnight, and you know that, Ken. It was when my creativity and self-expression was stifled by you that I decided not to attend. I hope the show is exactly what you want it to be and more. So this is 2019 that she's clearly having an issue with the Grammys, and I find it interesting that it seems like, you know, a lot of Ariana fans, like last year, I remember on Twitter, were like boycotting watching the Grammys. It's just like not my vibe. I was kind of pissed about the whole thing, and I remember so many Ariana stans, which is a lot of people, were also pissed and not watching. So it's clear that this year it seems like the Grammys wanted to make amends with Ariana because they nominated her for 5 major awards, including Record of the Year for 7 Rings, Album of the Year for Thank You Next, Best Pop Solo Performance, Best Pop Duo/Group Performance, and Best Pop Vocal Album. And of course, then they also invited her to perform and gave her creative leverage, and she was able to perform the way that she wanted to. And my personal conspiracy on all this is that the Grammys were, you know, suffering from the loss of the amount of people who were boycotting it last year. Maybe, I feel like they wouldn't suffer that much or anything, because like most people that watch the Grammys, I feel like are just older generation that wouldn't really care about this. But either way, maybe it did take a toll on them, and they wanted to make amends with Ariana Grande, because of course she is, you know, the biggest pop star at the moment. And my conspiracy follows that they decide to invite her to the show, invite her to perform, and of course nominate her for major awards. And they snubbed her because it's kind of like a fuck you for like all the shit that happened last year. That's like one of my conspiracies. I also have the conspiracy that they just used her and they used big artists to perform and then not give them any Grammys. Like, there's just something off about the Grammys, and this like really got me thinking. I took a little look, because when I saw Mariah Carey was snubbed, I was like, who else? Looked around at how many Grammy Awards certain artists have ever, you know, won in their lifetime, in their career time. 3 people who I would say changed pop music forever. Ariana, Mariah Carey, and Britney Spears. Like, when you think of pop star, I don't know if this, well actually I know this is not just me. Britney Spears is like the first person that comes to my mind, like pop star. Like, you know, like just bubblegummy pop, like just pop star. She is a pop star. And she was the pop star of the 90s. Like, that's just Britney Spears. Mariah Carey in her lifetime has only won 5 Grammys. I just find that pretty absurd, honestly, because Mariah Carey has been around for years, like several years. She is one of the most respected artists of all time. It's not like Mariah Carey's shit wasn't record-breaking like Billy's is as well. Like, Billy deserves it, but like, how could you say Mariah Carey doesn't deserve it? Like, I just think she's like a legend. Like, that's crazy. It gets worse. So Ariana has only won 1 Grammy in her lifetime, which I also find pretty absurd considering like the records that woman has broken. It's crazy. But the most crazy to me, this one I just can't get over it, and it made me be like, okay, this has to be a video, is that Britney Spears has only won 1 Grammy in all of her career. And I just think that's fucking absurd. Like, I don't know how anyone could act like Britney Spears wasn't the like one of the people who sold the most records like of all time and was like literally the biggest pop star of all time. I just think that's like crazy. And not only that, but those 3, Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, and Britney Spears, the only female artists who have ever debuted 2 or more songs at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. So it's just so weird that they're like record breakers and they have like 0 Grammys pretty much. Like, I just think it's crazy that this is like music, the biggest night in music and like all this shit, but like it really blows my mind. Like, I can't understand it. And like, even like Celine Dion, I think won like 5 or 8, I can't remember the number because I was like researching everyone, and like all of these legends are winning like so few amounts of Grammys. But like you guys know, I love Amy Winehouse, but that girl won like 6 Grammys in one night. I just think it's so absurd. Like, how, like, it's great and of course they deserve it, but I'm like, how are you to say that like Mariah Carey or like Ariana or Britney Spears doesn't fucking deserve it at their times? Like, you know, like, I'm not saying Mariah Carey should win Grammys right now, but like when she was in her prime, are you fucking kidding? And Britney Spears is the one that really fucking gets me. I have 2 kind of conspiracies on this. I think that the Grammys actually prefers a specific type of music, if that makes sense. Like, very different, like a very not alternative, but like necessarily like not so like bubblegum pop. Like, if you look at the Grammys that like Amy Winehouse has won, which Amy Winehouse was no means anywhere near a pop artist. Like, I just cannot believe it. And she won Pop Album of the Year in 2007, which is so absurd to me. So I'm like, why are they giving Grammys for like Pop Album of the Year to like Amy Winehouse? I feel like when you think of pop, you think of Ariana Grande, you think of Britney Spears, you think of, you know, Madonna. I feel like Ariana Grande is the definition of pop, but like Amy Winehouse being pop doesn't really make sense to me at all, because it was Back to Black, and Back to Black is not a pop album. Not saying it doesn't deserve a Grammy, it was incredible, it's the perfect album, but it's not pop. Like, that's just, I just don't understand. And I think they favor these artists who are more, I guess, alternative to a bubblegum pop. I don't know if they have issues with pop artists, like actual pop. I just find it really interesting, and I feel like, I don't know, I want to hear your guys' conspiracies. This part's kind of like an open-ended question, is because like I don't understand. Like I genuinely don't get it. A pop album would never be Amy Winehouse. And like you guys know, I literally have 3 Amy Winehouse tattoos. I love her to the core. But she's not a pop, like she was not a pop artist. She was more like jazzy and like, I don't know, it's just like a different vibe. Like it's not pop, but like what is pop? I don't know. Like to me, pop is just like Britney Spears, like bubblegum music. I don't know, maybe that's why. Maybe the Grammys just hates bubblegum pop. But then why would they invite Ariana? It makes no fucking sense. Like it truly makes no sense. And it's something I've just been thinking about like for the past week since the Grammys was on, and I just like, why don't they just like have more diverse ways to categorize like people's music rather than just saying best pop album and then giving it to someone who's not a pop artist? Like I don't think Amy Winehouse would ever have identified herself as a pop star or a pop singer. Like I think she would have cried. She hated pop music, in fact. So I just think it's just crazy. It's just so weird. I literally have no words, and I think that the Grammys are kind of pointless for that, because I'm like, how are you not gonna recognize like what some of the biggest artists are doing? Like that's just, it's absurd to me. It really is. Here's the like, I guess, conspiracy theorist conspiracy about this. The darker conspiracy to all of this is why did Ariana get snubbed like this? Why did this happen to Mariah Carey too? Basically, there has been, for as long as I can remember, conspiracies about when you are initiated into the Illuminati, take it lightly, you have to be publicly embarrassed. I have heard this theory for so long, and also you have to like sacrifice things and like people sometimes, apparently. Like I should make a whole video on why I don't think that celebrities are in the Illuminati. Like I really should, because I just think it's crazy. But either way, people who believe celebrities are a part of the Illuminati have been saying forever that like public humiliation is kind of a way of being initiated in. The most common example I saw use of this was the 2009 VMAs, when Taylor Swift was interrupted by Kanye West. This was like a very popular moment, and a lot of people claimed that this was Taylor Swift's initiation into the Illuminati, and that like that was her public embarrassment. So people have been saying that perhaps that was Mariah Carey's initiation into the Illuminati, and that this public kind of like embarrassment, like all the photos of like Ariana's face when she's losing these Grammys, is Ariana's initiation into the Illuminati. I don't know, I don't really, like I said, I just don't believe that celebrities are in the Illuminati, but that's just my personal opinion. But if they are, and if they do have to do a public embarrassment, I feel like that does make sense. It is really embarrassing to be invited to sing to an event and be, you know, hyped up that you have all of these awards that you're nominated for, literally 5 of them, and just keep losing time after time. That would just be really irritating to me and kind of embarrassing. So I don't know, what do you guys think about the Grammy conspiracies? Let me know. I just think that like it takes away the like value of a Grammy to me. The last conspiracy we're gonna be talking about revolves around Ticketmaster. I've had a fucking bone to pick with Ticketmaster for years, and I'm not saying that this is for facts, by the way, so you cannot sue me. I think the way that Ticketmaster runs and operates their website is absolutely ridiculous sometimes, and especially when it comes to pre-sale codes. This conspiracy kind of came to mind when I was really thinking about the beauty industry conspiracy theories that I did quite a bit ago, and I was talking about how companies actually pretend or act like their products are sold out in order to create hype and create, of course, demand for the product. And I was like, why wouldn't concerts and like Ticketmaster and StubHub, whatever, do this too? And the answer is they probably would. Think about how concerts like pretty much sell out almost instantly, but it's like they're not really sold out, because if you go on Ticketmaster and you look up, like say I'm going to see Harry Styles, his tickets went on sale like a while ago, and if I were to go to Ticketmaster right now, there would still be tickets available for Harry Styles. However, they would all be resale tickets, and they would be way more expensive than they were in the first place, which is annoying. But either way, I think this makes sense with Ticketmaster's pre-sale codes. One time I literally, so for Ariana Grande concerts, there was like this T-Mobile code where if you know, like exactly 30 days, like exactly 1 month before the concert this T-Mobile code and get this T-Mobile pre-sale, and you would have access to pit tickets that were like $150, which is really good. So basically I log on, and this happens every single time. I don't think I've ever had a pre-sale code from fucking Ticketmaster that has just worked at the time that it's supposed to. I don't think ever, like literally ever. I log on, type in my code, says the code's not working, says it's the wrong code, it's the right code. This happens every single time. I will continuously try for like an hour, and then by the time the code finally starts working, the tickets are sold out, but they're like not, like they're only resale tickets available, which then I end up spending $450 instead of $150. So why does this happen? What is the tea? And this is something that like actually happens. The pre-sale codes, if you guys know, if you're stan accounts, if you're fans, if you're whatever, if you're just concert goers in general, you will know that Ticketmaster pre-sale codes are shit. Always shit. How does the pre-sale code work for these ticket scalpers, essentially, who are just buying tickets just to relist them on Ticketmaster for higher amounts of money, but it's never works for the fans, like almost ever? What is this? What is the reason behind this? And I'll tell you my little conspiracy. I truly maybe believe that Ticketmaster, and maybe other ticket sites, I'm not sure, gives ticket scalpers codes that work and gives fans codes that do not work, so that the ticket scalpers can go online first, and then once they buy all of the fucking tickets and relist them for higher prices, that is when the codes work for fans. And I genuinely believe that they maybe possibly do this, because this has happened to me so many fucking times, and I will be on right exactly at the time. I will have the right code. The code will never change. That's the tea, is that the code never changes. It's the fact that at one point it's literally not working for an hour, and then all of a sudden it'll work. So clearly the code was never the problem. So what was the problem? You might be thinking, why would they do this? Why would they want to sell it to scalpers? Like, what does that actually do to benefit them? When you list something on Ticketmaster, you do not get the full price like back. If you list something for $500, you will not get $500 because Ticketmaster gets a percentage. So I can only assume that Ticketmaster probably gets a percentage of, you know, tickets that are freshly listed, and these freshly listed tickets that maybe are listed for, say like you want to buy a Harry Styles ticket for $200. So this ticket is up $200, someone buys it, Ticketmaster gets a percentage. However, if this person who bought the ticket relists this $200 ticket for $500, then sells it because the demand is going to be high, Ticketmaster is going to get a higher percentage because it goes from $200 to $500. Do you see what I mean? And I just cannot believe that this is the first time I've thought about this, because it makes complete sense. Like, it makes so much sense. I get why they would do it. It's shitty, it's scammy, but maybe it is what happens. I just truly really think it makes sense. They obviously are making a higher percentage off of the resale tickets than they are off of tickets that are start at $150, because everyone's always like, concert tickets are so expensive. They're like not even that bad. Like $150 for pit is like super good, but I paid $400 for pit, and in the same day with the fucking T-Mobile pre-sale code. It's because of scalpers. And why do the scalpers codes work before ours? It's the only logical explanation, and if someone has a more logical explanation, then please explain it to me, because I truly do think and believe this theory 100%. Not saying that Ticketmaster is definitely doing this or anything. But what do you guys think about this conspiracy theory? Do you believe it? Let me know in the comments below. But that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about these conspiracy theories. I would love to hear your opinions on them. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram, because I'm always posting really dope ass shit on there. Subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you guys later. Bye!